Hey everyone, Strength Coach Tina here with a short video about bad knees. I have so many people who tell me, oh, my knees ache when I try and hike or run or squat or ski. And it's usually knees, plural, that are bad knees. Um, this may or may not come down to bad knees. Your knees are rarely the source of the problem unless you're someone who's had a previous knee injury, a torn meniscus or ligament within the knee. Fine, that can lead to trouble down the road. But I want to explain a little bit about the knee's anatomy and function and tell you where the problems may in fact be coming from and how to start to ameliorate them. So, the knee joint is a hinge joint, much like the elbow. That is quite a simple joint. It's only designed to move in one plane, and it's in flexion and extension. That's what the knee is designed to do. So, what goes wrong? Well, you have the femur bone of the upper thigh, and you have the tibia of the lower leg, and those two bones are supposed to move in a certain way in relation to each other to bend and extend. Now, imagine if all of the various muscular attachments and around the knee, along these bones, somehow pull those bones out of their natural anatomic alignment, if you will, so that when the knee is put through its flexion extension pattern, there are abnormal kind of forces coming through that joint so that there's maybe a bit of torsion or turning where there shouldn't be, or there's more pressure on the inner compartment inside on the knee than outside, just based on these malalignments of these two bones in relation to one another. Where do the malalignments come from? Well, it's time to look sort of upwards and downwards from the knee itself to the joints above and below. And those are obviously the hip and the ankle. The hip and the ankle joints are built for large ranges of motion. Complex degrees of freedom are supposed to happen, particularly at the hip. And if you don't possess those, if somehow things are stiff and tight in the muscles around the hip, pelvis, those are transmitted downward. So through the muscular attachments around the knee. And then the knee is the passenger, the innocent victim in all of this. The same could be true of the ankle. So if you have tension there and you don't have flexion, then it's going to create problems when you try and go through a squat or a lunge. And these types of movements are seen in activities like skiing and running, particularly up a hill. So, if you're someone who has achy, bad knees, consider assessing your hip and ankle mobility. So if this is something of interest, I refer you to the next videos where you can find out how to do a self-assessment of your hips and your ankles. And then further videos will be provided for people to try and work on mobility in those areas.